The NBA offseason has officially turned unpredictable. In a move no one saw coming, the Milwaukee Bucks have waived 9-time All-Star Damian Lillard, who still had over $113 million remaining on his contract. That's right, one of the league's most dangerous scorers is now available, and the Golden State Warriors are rumored to be watching very closely. Welcome back to Warriors Nation News, your go-to channel for all things Golden State. Today, we're diving deep into the Lillard situation, breaking down how this stunning move might just shift the balance of power in the Western Conference and why Dub Nation should be paying attention. So buckle up, because what we're about to explore could change everything for the Golden State Warriors. Let's get right to the heart of the matter. Damian Lillard was waived by the Bucks despite still being under contract for an astronomical sum. Why? The Bucks were looking to clear cap space to bring in Miles Turner, a bold move that may have solved one problem but created another massive opportunity for the rest of the league. And the Warriors? They've entered the conversation as a real threat to land Lillard. The San Francisco Chronicle confirmed that Golden State has legitimate interest in bringing the former Blazer and Buck to the Bay. That alone should get every Warriors fan sitting upright. The fit between Lillard and this Warriors system isn't just ideal, it's potentially lethal. Picture this: Steph Curry and Damian Lillard in the same backcourt. Two of the greatest deep-range shooters the league has ever seen, operating under the same system, coached by Steve Kerr, and flanked by players who know exactly how to space the floor. This isn't just fantasy basketball. This could be the most dynamic backcourt pairing in modern NBA history. And don't forget, Lillard may be injured now, rehabbing a torn left Achilles, but when healthy, he's still one of the most explosive offensive players in the league. He averaged 24.9 and 7.1 asks per game last season while adjusting to a new system in Milwaukee. Imagine what he could do in Golden State's read and react offense, where he wouldn't have to carry the full scoring load. Let's be clear, the Warriors haven't made a move yet, but the fact that they're in this conversation tells you everything you need to know about the mindset in the Bay Area this offseason. Despite a slow start in free agency, Golden State is thinking big. They're not ready to fade into the background. They're exploring every possibility to bring another title back to Chase Center, and that's exactly what the fan base should want to see. Of course, no major move happens in a vacuum. Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency is another subplot unfolding at Chase Center right now. The Warriors extended a qualifying offer to the young forward after his breakout postseason, where he averaged 24.3 points over his final 4 playoff games. But interest from teams like the Bulls and Heat make the situation murky. Is it possible that a potential sign-and-trade could involve Kuminga if Lillard truly wants to land in Golden State? Could the Warriors be willing to let go of one of their most promising young assets in exchange for a proven veteran who's hungry for a ring? These are real questions Bob Myers or whoever holds the front office reins must grapple with. The answer isn't simple. Kuminga represents the future, but Lillard could bring one more banner to the rafters now. That's the tension. And let's not forget the new NBA CBA rules that are complicating every front office decision. With the league's new salary cap aprons, punitive taxes, and financial restrictions, the days of big splashy signings are quickly becoming history. But that's exactly what makes the Warriors' interest in Lillard so fascinating. They know the risk, they know the tax implications, yet they're still exploring the move. Why? Because when you have Steph Curry, you go all in. Period. So here we are. Damian Lillard is available. The Warriors have interest. Kuminga's future is uncertain. And the new NBA CBA is pushing teams to think differently. But make no mistake, this is the kind of bold move that defines legacies. Steph isn't getting younger. Draymond is still vocal, still fiery, but time is ticking. And Klay's departure has left a hole both in production and identity. Adding Lillard would not only revitalize the Warriors' title hopes, it would send a message to the league. Golden State isn't done yet. What do you think, Dub Nation? Should the Warriors go all in on Damian Lillard, even if it means parting ways with a young star like Kuminga? Would a Steph-Lillard backcourt be unstoppable? Or is it too risky with Dame coming off an Achilles injury? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let us know if your team go get Dame or team build around the youth. And if you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an update from Warriors Nation News. We'll be back with Chapter 2, diving into Draymond Green's fiery criticism of the new NBA CBA and how it's reshaping NBA free agency as we know it. Stay locked in. While the Damian Lillard situation has the NBA world buzzing, there's another headline making waves in the Bay Area, and it comes straight from the Warriors locker room. Draymond Green, never one to stay silent, has gone off on the new collective bargaining agreement, CBA, calling it a disaster for NBA free agency and young players alike. In classic Draymond fashion, he didn't hold back. He took to social media to blast the NBPA and even threw some shade at its current president, CJ McCollum. But this isn't just about a veteran venting. This is about the future of team building in the NBA and, more importantly, how it affects the Warriors' ability to compete under the league's new financial structure. Let's break it down, because what Draymond is saying might be frustrating, but it's also brutally honest. Free agency is broken, and Draymond wants answers. NBA free agency in 2025 has been one of the quietest in recent memory. The usual frenzy of blockbuster trades and shocking signings just didn't happen. Outside of Miles Turner's surprising deal with the Bucks, there's been very little to talk about. And for Draymond Green, that's exactly the problem. He took to Threads, posting a fiery message from his man cave, saying he was baffled that free agency had essentially come and gone without a single major splash. His words were sharp, but they weren't empty. He pointed the finger directly at the new CBA and its impact on how teams operate financially. According to Draymond, the second apron, the strict hard cap that limits how much teams can spend once they cross a certain threshold, has absolutely put an end to free agency. In his eyes, this new structure has crippled the market. Teams are afraid to spend. Players are overplaying their hands, and the excitement that once defined the offseason has vanished. He didn't stop there. Draymond questioned the leadership of the NBPA, hinting that if he were president, things might look very different. He said, "I should have been the Players Association president. I could have helped a lot." That's a bold claim, but also a revealing one. It shows how deeply Draymond believes this new system is hurting players, especially the younger ones who don't have the leverage or name recognition to navigate this new landscape. Young stars left in limbo. And that brings us to the real issue here. Players like Jonathan Kuminga. Draymond made it very clear. His frustration wasn't about Kuminga specifically. He even wrote, "This ain't got nothing to do with him. He's 22 and will be great and make a bunch of money." But the timing of his rant and the context of Kuminga's stalled free agency speak volumes. Under this new CBA, restricted free agents like Kuminga are in a strange position. Teams are hesitant to extend big offers because they know the original team can match. Meanwhile, the original team, in this case the Warriors, is cautious about overpaying and getting trapped under the apron. It's a financial chess match, and players like Kuminga are the pawns. Draymond's comments shed light on just how much the business side of basketball has changed. It's no longer just about talent. It's about timing, cap space, tax penalties, and flexibility. He also pointed out something deeper and more concerning. Most players don't fully understand the business side of the league they play in. That's a powerful and somewhat sad admission. Draymond's message is that the system is evolving faster than the players can react, and that leaves many of them vulnerable. So what does this mean for the Warriors? It means they're navigating a much more complicated reality than years past. The dynasty era was built in a very different financial climate. Back then, the Warriors could go deep into the luxury tax to retain stars and pursue veterans. Now, one misstep and they're hard-capped. One overpaid contract and they're locked out of flexibility for years. Draymond Green's rant isn't just about venting. It's a warning. It's a message to fans, players, and the front office that the old rules no longer apply. The new NBA is leaner, stricter, and less forgiving. But here's where Warriors fans should find hope. If anyone knows how to adapt, it's Golden State. This franchise has reinvented itself multiple times, from building through the draft to chasing KD to going young again with Poole and Kuminga, and now maybe pivoting once more toward veteran firepower with names like Lillard floating around. The key is awareness.
And Draymond, for all his controversy, has his finger firmly on the pulse. So what do you think, Dub Nation? Is Draymond right? Has the new CBA destroyed free agency as we knew it? And what do you think about his critique of the NBPA leadership? Would you trust Draymond to represent the players in those boardrooms? Drop your take in the comments below. Agree? Disagree? We want to hear from every corner of the Bay. And if you're finding this breakdown valuable, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Warriors Nation News. This offseason is just getting started, and we're here for every twist and turn.
He was once labeled the most athletic prospect in his class, a raw but powerful forward with elite upside. And after a breakout playoff stretch this past season, Jonathan Kuminga looked like he was finally turning the corner and becoming a foundational piece for the Golden State Warriors. But now, his future in the Bay is far from certain. In this final chapter, we're breaking down the latest in the Kuminga contract standoff, what other teams are offering, and whether the Warriors should keep betting on their 22-year-old rising star or use him as a trade chip in pursuit of a veteran like Damian Lillard. If you're a Warriors fan who's been watching Kuminga grow these past few seasons, this chapter is for you. Kuminga's value rises, but so do the risks. Let's start with the facts. Jonathan Kuminga is a restricted free agent. The Warriors extended a qualifying offer, which means they can match any deal he receives from another team. But so far, no offer sheet has come in. Not from the Bulls, not from the Heat, not even from the Kings, who have shown some low-level interest but haven't made a serious push. Why? Because of the CBA again. Teams don't want to tie up cap space by offering Kuminga a deal Golden State could easily match. They're playing the waiting game. They're betting the Warriors will eventually get squeezed, financially or strategically, into letting Kuminga walk or trading him for pennies on the dollar. Meanwhile, the Warriors are doing their own calculus. They know what they have in Kuminga, a player who averaged 15.3 points last season and exploded for 24.3 points per game over the final 4 games of their playoff run. His defense is improving. His confidence is growing. He's learning how to score without dominating the ball, and most importantly, he fits the modern NBA game. But they also know what they don't have: time. Steph Curry is 36. Draymond Green is 34. The championship window isn't closed, but it's not wide open either. Every move the front office makes has to be focused on right now. That's why Kuminga, as valuable as he is, finds himself in the middle of every trade rumor involving a veteran star. The Warriors are in a tough spot. Hold on to Kuminga, and you might watch him become the next Pascal Siakam. Trade him now, and you might regret it in 3 years, but you might also win another title in 1. That's the gamble. Around the league, teams are circling the waters. According to league insiders, the Chicago Bulls are interested, but cautious. They like his upside, but aren't sure he's ready to be a primary scoring option. The Miami Heat love his physical tools, but they've been burned before investing in raw talent that doesn't pan out. The Kings might be the most logical fit. Close to home, fast-paced system, playoff ambitions. But they haven't made a concrete offer. Even teams like Brooklyn are considering making a move, especially if the Cam Thomas situation drags on. He's another young player stuck in a similar restricted free agent limbo, and Brooklyn may look to shake things up. This is the new NBA. Young players with upside are being financially gamed under the new CBA. Front offices are using restricted free agency not just as a contract mechanism, but as leverage. Delay, wait, push the original team into a corner, then swoop in with a discounted deal. It's smart business, but it's brutal for players like Kuminga. The real question is, will Golden State blink? Warriors at a crossroads. Jonathan Kuminga's situation is bigger than one player. It's symbolic of everything the Warriors are dealing with this offseason. Do they stick with their young core, Kuminga, Moody, Podziemski, and hope for internal development, or do they go full win-now mode, trade some of that youth, and chase a final ring with Steph? Let's not forget, Kuminga is only 22. He hasn't even scratched the surface of what he could become. He's shown flashes of dominance. He's played through adversity. He's developed under one of the toughest systems in the league. There's every reason to believe he can become an all-star. But the NBA isn't patient, and neither are championship timelines. If the right deal comes, like Damian Lillard, the Warriors will have to consider it, and so would any smart franchise. So we ask you again, Dub Nation, what should the Warriors do? Hold on to Kuminga and build for the future, or flip him for a superstar and try to squeeze one more parade out of the dynasty? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you trust Kuminga to be part of the next generation in Golden State, or do you think the team should go all in on proven firepower? Make sure to like this video, subscribe to Warriors Nation News, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on this developing story. This offseason is far from over, and we'll be right here to cover every twist, trade, and triumph. Until next time, stay locked in and go Dubs.